Welcome back to Demolition Worker, where we tackle the toughest jobs on Earth. Today, we enter the absolute darkest black hell. After massive pumps drain the liquid oil, the massive interior cargo holds reveal a truly terrifying, dark, and extremely hazardous nightmare. Inside these cavernous tanks, thick layers of toxic black sludge cling tightly to every single inch of the cold steel walls. This dense, sticky residue is left behind from years of transporting heavy crude oil across the vast and unforgiving global oceans. We call this phase tank cleaning, a brutal and exhausting process required before any major structural repairs can ever safely begin. The environment down here is incredibly hostile, with absolutely zero natural light and dangerously low oxygen levels threatening every single breath. Temperatures inside this enclosed steel box can easily exceed 100 degrees, turning the entire space into a suffocating dark oven. To survive these extreme conditions, our dedicated demolition worker crew must wear highly specialized protective gear from head to their toes. Advanced breathing apparatuses are absolutely mandatory to ensure our brave team members do not inhale the deadly, concentrated chemical oil fumes. Heavy rubber boots and reinforced industrial gloves provide the final layer of essential defense against the highly corrosive and toxic sludge. Before the heavy machinery is brought inside, the crew conducts a rigorous safety inspection of all communication lines and emergency exits. Our primary weapon against this stubborn black hell is the incredibly powerful industrial hydroblasting system capable of extreme water pressure. These specialized high-pressure hoses are carefully lowered down into the dark abyss, ready to unleash their devastating cleaning power on command. Operating these massive water cannons requires immense physical strength, as the raw kinetic kickback can easily knock a grown man down. The signal is finally given, and the massive diesel pumps on the upper deck roar to life with a deafening thunder. Instantly, a blindingly fast stream of pressurized water erupts from the heavy nozzle, tearing directly into the thick black oil wall. The sheer force of the water blast acts like an invisible liquid sword, slicing effortlessly through decades of hardened chemical grime. Wherever the intense water stream strikes, the dark sludge is instantly obliterated, revealing the bright, shiny original steel hidden deep underneath. This incredible visual contrast between the absolute blackness of the oil and the pure white water spray creates a dramatic scene. The deafening roar of the pressurized water echoing off the cold steel walls makes verbal communication absolutely impossible for the crew. They must rely entirely on practiced hand signals and deep mutual trust to navigate this chaotic, slippery, and extremely dangerous environment. As the relentless water blasting continues, massive chunks of solidified crude oil peel away from the ceiling and crash down heavily. Every single falling piece of toxic debris presents a serious physical hazard, requiring the workers to remain constantly vigilant and alert. The floor of the holding tank quickly transforms into a swirling, chaotic river of toxic black wastewater and shattered oil fragments. Massive industrial vacuum pumps are continuously working overtime to suck up this hazardous liquid waste before it can flood the workspace. Even with the incredible power of the water jets, some areas of the steel hull remain stubbornly coated in sticky residue. For these extremely resilient patches, our highly trained team must deploy specialized, heavy-duty industrial chemical solvents to break the bonds. The thick white chemical foam aggressively attacks the dark oil molecules, bubbling and fizzing violently as it dissolves the toxic grime. This potent chemical reaction generates even more toxic fumes, making the protective breathing masks absolutely critical for the crew's immediate survival. After letting the strong chemical agents soak into the steel, the workers return with the high-pressure water cannons once again. The second blast of water completely annihilates the weakened sludge, finally exposing the pure, unblemished structural steel hidden underneath the mess. It is a truly mesmerizing mechanical ballet of immense pressure, harsh chemicals, and extreme human endurance in the absolute darkest conditions. Hours slowly drag by inside this suffocating metal belly, testing the physical limits and mental fortitude of every single brave worker. The intense heat generated by the industrial lights and the enclosed space causes sweat to pool heavily inside their sealed suits. Mandatory rest rotations are strictly enforced to prevent deadly heat exhaustion and ensure the team maintains their sharp focus and safety. As the fresh takes over the closed, the relentless assault on the Black Hell resumes with renewed aggressive energy. They meticulously work their way from the massive steel ceiling down to the floor, ensuring gravity helps pull toxic waste. The sheer scale of these cargo holds makes the cleaning process feel like an impossible, never-ending battle against the dark sludge. However, inch by painful inch, the dedicated demolition worker team reclaims the massive steel structure from the suffocating grip of oil. The powerful industrial lights finally begin to reflect off the newly cleaned metal walls, slowly piercing the deep, oppressive dark shadows. This brilliant reflection of light is a powerful symbol of their hard-fought progress, bringing a glimmer of hope to the darkness. Deep inside the intricate structural ribs of the ship, the cleaning process becomes significantly more complex and demands extreme physical agility. These narrow, claustrophobic gaps are absolute magnets for thick oil accumulation, requiring extreme precision to blast away the hidden toxic grime. The workers must carefully twist and contort their heavily suited bodies to reach every single hidden corner of the complex framework. It is exhausting, back-breaking labor that goes entirely unseen by the outside world, yet it remains absolutely vital for maritime safety. Without this meticulous, deep cleaning, the structural integrity of the massive vessel could never be properly inspected by the marine engineers. Hidden cracks, dangerous rust, and severe metal fatigue are completely masked by the thick layers of dark, suffocating crude oil sludge. By stripping away this toxic black hell, our brave team is literally paving the safe way for the ship's ultimate rebirth. As the final few sections of the massive walls are blasted clean, the primary focus shifts downwards to the treacherous floor. The floor is a dangerous, slippery minefield of jagged metal grates, hidden deep beneath a thick, swirling pool of hazardous wastewater. Heavy-duty industrial squeegees and specialized high-capacity vacuum lines are deployed to push the remaining toxic liquid toward the drains. The suction power of these massive pumps is truly terrifying, capable of clearing hundreds of gallons of dense sludge every minute. Slowly but surely, the intricate steel grating of the floor emerges from the dark, murky depths, gleaming cleanly under the bright lights. A final, lower-pressure, freshwater rinse is carefully applied to the entire cargo hold to wash away any remaining chemical solvents. This crucial final step ensures that the environment is completely neutralized and safe for the structural repair crews who will follow. The deafening roar of the massive water-blasting pumps finally echoes into total silence, marking the end of the brutal assault. For the very first time in several agonizing days, the exhausted demolition worker crew can finally stop and admire their incredible work. The transformation of this massive space is absolutely breathtaking, shifting from a terrifying dark hellscape into a pristine, shining steel cathedral. Every single inch of the toxic black sludge has been violently eradicated, leaving behind nothing but the cold, bare structural metal. The heavy, oppressive atmosphere has completely lifted, replaced by the clean, sharp scent of purified steel and freshly washed metal surfaces. Safety inspectors immediately descend into the newly cleaned hold, utilizing advanced flashlights and sonic testing equipment to examine the bare steel. Thanks to the incredibly thorough cleaning job, they can easily spot microscopic stress fractures that could have compromised the entire vessel. The successful completion of this incredibly dangerous mission is a massive testament to the skill and bravery of our dedicated crew. Working in confined, toxic spaces is definitively not a job for the weak, requiring immense courage, physical strength, and mental toughness. They are the unsung, silent heroes of the massive maritime industry, performing the dirty miracles that keep global shipping safely afloat. Slowly, the weary team begins the long, arduous climb up the steep, vertical ladders, leaving the massive, shining steel cavern behind. Emerging from the dark hatch into the bright, blinding sunlight feels like stepping onto an entirely different, peaceful, and vibrant planet. They strip off their heavy, sweat-soaked protective gear, finally breathing in the fresh, cool ocean air without any tight respirators. The massive diesel pumps on the main deck are finally powered down, and the deafening industrial roar fades into quiet ocean breeze. Looking down into the massive cargo hold from above, the stunning visual difference is absolutely staggering and incredibly satisfying to witness. What was once a terrifying toxic black hell is now a perfectly safe, highly sterile environment ready for the shipyard welders. This incredible level of extreme industrial cleaning requires millions of gallons of pressurized water and absolute unwavering dedication from the team. All the toxic wastewater collected during this massive operation is carefully pumped into specialized treatment facilities to protect the fragile ocean. Environmental safety is always our absolute highest priority, ensuring that none of this deadly sludge ever contaminates the beautiful blue sea. The demolition worker crew takes immense pride in knowing their grueling labor directly protects both human lives and our precious marine ecosystems. Tomorrow, a completely new army of skilled welders and structural engineers will descend into this pristine steel cavern to begin repairs. They will cut away the damaged, fatigued metal and weld massive new steel plates, slowly bringing this mighty vessel back alive. But none of their crucial structural repair work could ever happen without the terrifying, dirty, and dangerous foundation we laid today. We are the vital first line of defense, the brave men who willingly step into the dark abyss when everyone else leaves. Tank cleaning is not just a simple job. It is an intense psychological and physical war against the absolute toughest elements. Every single heavy drop of sweat shed inside that suffocating steel box is a necessary sacrifice for the safety of the crew. We have successfully conquered the dark, terrifying black hell, transforming a hazardous nightmare into a perfectly safe canvas for the future. As the golden sun slowly begins to set over the massive industrial shipyard, our dedicated team finally packs up their heavy gear. Their bright yellow hazmat suits are now heavily stained with dark oil, wearing the visible scars of a truly brutal, victorious battle. They walk away from the massive steel beast, knowing they have accomplished something incredibly difficult that very few people could ever endure. The massive oil tanker sits quietly in the calm harbor dock, its deep internal wounds now fully cleansed and ready for healing. This is the harsh, uncompromising reality of extreme industrial demolition and deep cleaning, where raw mechanical power meets its unyielding human determination. We will always be ready for the next impossible challenge, bringing light, immense power, and absolute order to the darkest, dirtiest places. Thank you for joining us on this incredibly intense journey into the dark belly of the beast to witness true extreme labor. If you enjoyed this massive cleanup operation, please subscribe to Demolition Worker for more epic industrial teardowns. See you next time.